It's time to bring out those receipts for all of the Carson Beck skeptics out there that scapegoated him for everything that went wrong with Georgia's offense in 2024. How you doing, buddy? Because Carson Beck was out there balling against the Fighting Irish, one of the best defenses in college football. 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. This looked like the Carson Beck that we saw in 2023 when he led Georgia to the SEC championship with only 1 loss as a starter that season. It's amazing how good a guy can look when he has one of the best offensive lines in college football, a great play caller on offense, and actual receivers on the field that know how to freaking catch. Carson Beck is going to be fantastic for Miami this year. Is he going to win the Heisman? Maybe. The way he was going off against Notre Dame, I could see Carson Beck winning the Heisman. Would be one of the best redemption stories in the history of college football. Carson Beck was ostracized, he was criticized, he was made out a villain and pushed out of the University of Georgia. He was the reason why they underperformed last season. He comes to Miami and balls out against a team that was just in the national championship a few months ago. Carson Beck is legit, and nobody should ever doubt any brother from the 904. I told y'all that I believe Carson Beck was going to bounce back. Is he going to be as good as what Cam Ward was last season? Maybe in his own way. It's hard to match what Cam Ward did. He was a finalist for the Heisman. He had the greatest season ever for a Miami Hurricanes quarterback statistically. So there definitely are huge shoes for Carson Beck to fill, but I feel like he's filling them in pretty nicely. And how about Malachi Tony? How was Malachi Tony a 3-star recruit? He easily should have been a 5-star. When I heard that he was a true freshman, I thought he was a 5-star recruit. So I go and I look up Malachi Tony 24/7. Bro, he's a 3-star freaking recruit, and he comes from a powerhouse in South Florida, American heritage. This just goes to show how pointless recruiting rankings truly are, because for the people that work at 24/7, who make these recruiting rankings, and you make your living doing this, you should be fired. There's no way after what we saw Malachi Tony do against Notre Dame that he had any business not being a 5-star recruit. This is going to be one of the best true freshman seasons that we've seen since Jeremiah Smith last year. He could be better than Jeremiah Smith for all we know. He looks like the miniature version of Tyreek Hill. Why was Malachi Tony not a 5-star recruit? I do not know, but he was absolutely dominating out there to the point when Notre Dame had to start doubling him in the second half on 3rd down. And what's even more impressive is he's only 17 years old. It's like, the more we progress throughout college football, the better these players are starting to get at a young age. You're 17 years old, dominating a defense that was just in the national championship. A year ago, you were playing high school football. Miami's offense was fun to watch. But you want to know what was even more fun to watch? Miami having a freaking defense. Thank the Lord that Mario Cristobal hired Corey Heatherman. And although that defense almost sold in the end, if this was last year's defense, they would have gave up 45 points easily. Notre Dame could have run the ball. Their offensive line was getting obliterated by Ruben Bain. You talk about somebody who was laying the pain. Oh my goodness, it seemed like every drop back, Ruben Bain was in the backfield. Catching interceptions too. I'm like, what can this dude do? He might be able to play linebacker and a little bit of corner. This dude is a freak. He's not normal. Miami's defense was superb in this game to me. Outside of a few hiccups that they had late with the big blown coverage that they had, which got Notre Dame back into the game, this is a vastly more improved defense than last year. You got a lot of talent in the secondary, and as we progress throughout the season, the defense should continue to get better. A big question that I kept getting asked was, why was I so confident that Miami was going to take a step up defensively? Because they threw a lot of money on this side of the ball. In the transfer portal, Mario Cristobal got 4 out of the top 20 highest rated DBs available. So it's not as if Miami just went out and got whoever. Like, they got good starters, and they also got guys who are going to be around for a year or two. So for Miami against Notre Dame, I kind of have to reassess my expectations for this team. Although I expected Miami to win this game, it was one of the few games that I got right this weekend. My only concern was Marcus Freeman going to outcoach Mario Cristobal, but to his credit, he handled this game pretty well. I have no complaints about how this game went. Even if Miami would have lost, you know, I would have been like, I kind of expected it. I still wouldn't have been hard on Mario Cristobal. But the issue with Mario Cristobal isn't his ability to win big games. Mario Cristobal went on the road a few years ago at Oregon and beat Ohio State in Columbus. So he can win big games. The issue is he plays down the competition. And how good is Miami going to look when they play up against the teams that they're expected to blow out? I don't know. But I do know for right now, hey, Miami looks like a damn good team. And Carson Beck, it looks like he's going to continue the tradition of transfer quarterbacks coming to South Florida to ball out.